are here today at the ABA Tech Show 2017 with Sam Glover, founder and editor-in-chief of Lawyerist.com. So tell us, I guess, a little bit about Lawyerist, how you started it, and what it is.
Yeah, I'll give you the short version. It's an online magazine, and we think, I got to preface it like that because I hate to sound braggy, but we're pretty sure it's the largest community of solo and small firm lawyers in the world.
I think so.
Or home to that community anyway. I suppose you can't own a community.
Yep.
So that's the main thing. We've recently added a conference. We're building out a set of resource pages with information on things like,
I didn't know about that.
We're calling it TBD Law.
Okay.
And it's a partnership with Matt Homan and his Filament meeting company.
Yep.
And it's we've done 2 of them in the last year,
cool.
so it's every 6 months. And it's I guess you could call it an unconference because there's no speakers. We're just bringing together smart lawyers who get it, who understand the trends that are shaping the future of law practice, and how to think strategically about business.
Okay.
And we're putting a bunch of smart lawyers in a room and trying to give them problems to solve and prompting them with ideas. And
Cool.
It sounds cheesy to say letting the magic happen, but it does.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, every time.
And then the content on your blog is focused mostly on solo small firms, technology, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, our target demographic is solo and small firms.
Okay.
We know that judges read us and in-house counsel read us and big firm lawyers read us, but and I'm glad that they get value out of it, but that's not who we're writing for. We're really writing for solo and small firm lawyers.
Okay. And I know that you started a podcast recently.
Oh,
How's
yeah?
that going?
Yeah, the podcast is awesome.
Okay.
I think we just published, I think we just recorded episode 112.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, so we've been doing
Every
it
week? Once a week?
once a week,
Okay.
you can do the math, it's almost 2 years now. So
Crazy.
It's been really fun. I know that I come across as very blunt in my writing, and the podcast has been a nice way for us to get out and get in people's ears and for them to get to know us better.
Right.
And it also lets us explore different topics in a different way, and it's really fun.
I gotta tell you, one thing I love most about you guys is that how you split up your team. So you have the content team, which you're a part of, then you have the advertising team, which is a totally different department run by Aaron.
Yep.
And it's amazing. You couldn't care less who pays him money. I'm still gonna write my stuff, non-biased, and I think that's the best thing about you guys.
We needed to do that because it's really, lawyers want information about products.
Yeah. In an honest, non-biased way.
Yeah, we need to show that. I mean, I think we've built a reputation for quality, quality writing, quality information, and we really aren't. There are other publications out there where you can learn about software and hardware and stuff, but you're not really sure, is this independent?
Is it paid? Is it sponsored?
Yeah, and we try to be really independent.
Yeah, no, the thing I love the most, you'll see people that are paying a lot of money, then you'll write a review. Hey, don't do this, and it's good because it's actually pushing them to do better and be better, so you're helping, they might not like it at first, but you're helping them in the future, in the long run.
One of our core values is respectful candor.
Yeah.
And so there are 2 sides to that. Candor is a really big piece of that. If
Yeah.
something is bad and it deserves, people need to know that it's bad, we'll talk about it.
Yep.
But we try to be respectful in the way that we talk about it because we're not out to make enemies.
Right.
So.
Right. So you know, something funny. I think you told me 2 years ago you started another blog, and I looked at it last week. Formula.
Yeah, I haven't. I started
What
it. I
happened
didn't do
with
anything.
that?
I love Formula One.
Okay.
And so I decided. And at the time, there was a really interesting controversy where a driver had been basically fired from a team, and then he sued the team and. I was able to dig up the arbitration docs from Australia, and it was really fun to take apart the legal issue. And I mean, it turns out auto racing has its own courts. There's an internal court system for auto racing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
like the military, sort of.
Yeah, it's amazing. The FIA is the international governing body for motorsport, and they have their own tribunals.
So if you cut someone off illegally or do something like that, they will.
Yep. So if you are denied your seat in the car that you think you're entitled to. It ends up going through the FIA court system, basically. It's super interesting. So I did that. I took that apart. I published it. It was very successful. And then the problem is that those big problems really don't come up all that frequently. And so I just don't have time to maintain 3 blogs.
What's the big goal for lawyers in 5 years? Where do you guys see yourselves?
I can't tell you. It's our secret.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Obviously, the number one legal publication worldwide. Are you going worldwide, or are you trying to stick to U.S.?
We are worldwide.
Okay.
You know, we actually have big chunks of readers in a variety of countries, but we're not really catering to them yet. And we talk about whether or not we could do a better job of that. No, I mean, you know, we are a publication, but we really value quality over quantity.
Yep.
So our main focus right now is trying to figure out how to do a better job of helping lawyers get the information they come for. I mean, the number one reason people come to our site is, I mean, people come to see what's new, but after that, most people come to learn what legal technology they need for their practice, or they want to learn how to market their practices and stuff like that. And we haven't done a great job of organizing that information and making it easy to find. So right now, a lot of our effort is going into
categories, filters.
You shouldn't have to dig through the archives and then wonder whether or not something's current.
Right.
So that's one of our main focuses right now. Okay. And then the overall, we're not quite ready to talk about the overall vision.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be mysterious,
next year we'll see what happened last year.
Yeah.
So you write a lot about legal technology. What do you see the future of legal tech becoming? A lot of artificial intelligence, a lot of AI.
So yes, AI. Not robot lawyers, but you know, I walk around TechShow, and TechShow is kind of the same every year. There's a bunch of practice management software companies. That's cool. But my mind is not being blown currently by much that I see out here.
Right.
But what is sort of trickling up or bubbling up is people are starting to put AI on things, right? Like, put some AI on it.
Yeah. That's the new keyword. Before it was like cloud, security, paperless. Now it's like AI.
Yeah, but
it's popping up. Yeah.
But AI, or rather machine learning technologies and human-computer interactions, interfaces are clearly where things are trying to go.
Yep.
It might not work, but most of the potential is in AI enhanced stuff. So, for example, I think document assembly, document automation technologies are tremendous for lawyers that are trying to figure out how to scale their practices and serve more people for less money and make a bigger profit while doing it. The trick is, it's really high maintenance. It's really hard to set up and configure document assembly software. It's really high maintenance to make sure to maintain all your forms and your templates and make sure they're all good and up to date. And so there's a lot of barriers, but what if instead you just fed your document bank into a website, you dumped it in there, and a machine learning algorithm takes a look at it and says, okay, here are the 15 documents that your firm relies on. We've pulled out the main variables. We've figured out the questions to ask to elicit that information. And not only that, but we've noticed that sometimes you use this term and sometimes you use this term. And so at a minimum, we need to give you a choice between these two. But maybe we can figure out what the questions are to ask to figure out which ones of those we're going to need. Like that right there.
I mean,
of course it's possible.
Okay.
It's theoretically possible.
Right.
Nobody's doing it yet, but you know, we've got case text where you can drag and drop a brief, and it'll tell you what cases you missed.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
My understanding is that Ross is working on drafting research memos using their Watson-powered backend.
I think we're interviewing him tomorrow.
So it's not purely theoretical. It's within grasp. It's right there.
It's going to happen.
And that is the kind of thing where I think it's transformative. Like, you know, what if you're doing legal research and you know, Clippy pops up and it's like, it looks like you're writing a motion for summary judgment. Can I help? And Clippy is stupid, but this wouldn't be. It would actually say, I went ahead and looked up all the cases that I think you're going to need in this case, which I've been monitoring in your file directory, right? Like, so if that's good and if it works, you know, that's pretty transformative. And that, when I start seeing those here, that's when my mind will get blown again. And so I think, you know, technology isn't truly interesting until it's boring. And right now, there's a lot of stuff that is potentially mind-blowing, but it's definitely not boring yet. And so I'm waiting for AI to get boring.
Okay, wow, that'd be a cool day,
And that's when I think lawyers will really change it. And I think that's within, you know, months or years. It's really just waiting for a really aggressive team of software developers to decide to do something like that.
So last question to wrap it up. What would be your top advice for solo practitioners or small firms looking to start and getting involved in legal technology?
I think if you're trying to figure out what to do right now,
read Lawyerist.
Oh, sure.
Of course.
Yeah, obviously.
A little plug.
Apply for TBD Law.
Yeah.
You have to apply. But I think, and the message of TBD Law is the same one I'm going to give now, which is basically like pull your perspective up. Okay. Like when you're thinking about how to serve clients, you should not just be thinking about the one-to-one interaction. I think lawyers should be thinking about how to solve that legal problem for everyone, not just for that client. And so you should be thinking in larger terms than just the one client. And that doesn't mean lower quality work. I think our goal should be to aspire towards perfect client service, perfect legal work. Yep. We can't get there, but like that's the lesson of lean and agile is we can move towards perfect. Yep. And by systematizing the work that we do, becoming better and more efficient at what we do, and really fundamentally working on customer service and trying to create more effortless interactions between lawyers and clients. There's a survey that I've got wind of, and I know a little bit about it, but I haven't had a chance to dig into it, but it feels right to me, so I'm going to go ahead and pitch it out there.
Okay, let's see.
And what's driven me crazy over the years is when we talk about access to justice, we talk about the 80% of people who aren't getting help from a lawyer who need it. Yep. But that's not the right number. That's the 80% is the percentage of people who who qualify for legal aid and apply and are turned away. It's a very specific number that has
how many
nothing
people are
to
actually
do.
Applying? Probably not many.
No, and it has nothing to do with for-profit law firms.
It's a skewed number then. Okay.
But so there's another survey that that the folks at ARAG have talked about. I don't know if they commissioned it or where it comes from. I need to dig down. But what they've said is somewhere in the neighborhood of 24% of people with a civil justice problem actually hire a lawyer to solve it. Okay. And of the other 76%. Only 17% of those people didn't hire a lawyer because they couldn't afford one. Oh. And the way we talk about access to justice right now is everybody talks about cost, and that's not the problem. Yep. The reason the other 83% of those people didn't hire a lawyer is because it was too stressful, and they thought the problem might go away on its own.
Wow.
Because think about it, hiring a lawyer to solve a legal problem means that it doesn't mean it's not going to make your life better today. It might make your life neutral and not worse at a vague point in the future. So the access to justice problem that we have, the opportunity that lawyers have, is getting those 83% of the 76% that don't hire a lawyer to start hiring one. And they clearly aren't interested in the way lawyers are selling services now. And it's not about money.
How should they change the way they sell services?
Focusing on serving those potential clients according to the way, there's no one answer, but creating effortless ways for them to solve their problems in similar ways to the way Airbnb makes it effortless to share and book rooms at a place, the way Uber and Lyft make it effortless to hop into a cab and hop out. And it doesn't mean building an app, but it means
I feel like there's been a lot of apps that are trying to do this now.
Yeah, I
want to be the Uber for attorneys.
I don't want lawyers to be the Uber of anything.
We're going to disrupt the market.
Exactly. I want to stop talking about disruption, and I don't want lawyers to be. There's no market here to disrupt. Yeah. There's non-markets. Yeah. There's zero clients that are currently hiring lawyers. In order to get to them, you have to make it super easy to hire, effortless, pleasant even to solve those legal problems. And price will factor in clearly. I mean, but it's not the only piece, and that's what I want lawyers to think about is blow up the attorney-client representation model and start thinking about it in a new way.
Ease of use.
Yeah, and let's not forget about ethics. Let's not start talking about settling for less. Let's try to give people more for less, more effortlessly, with better customer service, better client service. I think that's all doable, and all it takes is some lawyers who are willing to think differently about law practice.
Yeah, and if they don't know how to do it, there's a lot of consultants out there also that can help them out. There's tons of good people that know what they're doing.
Potentially. I'm not sure most of the consultants know either. I don't think they have any better idea than lawyers do, but at TBD Law, we're trying to get people to think about things in those terms, but I think everybody should be. The next one will be in August, and then the next one after that will be in February.
Where is it?
So it's currently in St. Louis, and we're looking for opportunities to move it around.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah.
Sam, thank you so much as always.
Good talking to you.
Sam Glover, thank you. Always good having you. ABA Tech Show, We are live with Sam Glover. Thank you, everyone. All right, dude.
Was that actually live?
No.
Oh.
But we might even like put it on Facebook saying we're live.